The New York Transit Museum. It's one of New York's gems, and of course, like the subway itself, it's literally underground. It's housed inside a decommissioned subway station in downtown Brooklyn, where the city's transit history isn't just preserved, it's parked right on the tracks. Step onto the platform and you're stepping back in time. The museum's collection includes vintage subway cars dating as far back as 1904, the dawn of New York's original subway system. Walk through them and you'll see how the daily commute has evolved, from rattan seats and ceiling fans from the early 20th century up to the familiar designs millions ride today. Each car tells its own story of each decade, with different designs and different versions of New York itself. Some visitors even dress up in period costume, adding more atmosphere and authenticity to your museum visit. Jody Shapiro is the curator of the New York Transit Museum. Tell me about the different train cars that you have here at the museum.
So we have about 20 cars at any one time on the platform, but our fleet is much, much larger than that. We try to have a range of years from the earliest train cars in our system, like this one that we're in right now, which predates the subway. It's an elevated car because that's what was here before the subways existed. We have cars from the 1930s, cars from the 1940s, cars from the 2000s on the platform right now, and at any one time we have a variety of the entire history of the subway in cars.
How did you find the really old subway cars? I mean, who held on to this? Where were they stored?
Most of the collection that we have because there were some very dedicated transit employees who realized the historical value and importance of subway cars that were no longer in use, so they figured out ways to save and preserve them and keep them until the museum was established.
Are these cars operational?
All of them are.
You could hook this up to a train and it could actually run?
It can, and they do. We take them out several times a year for people to ride on and enjoy.
And what makes the New York subway system different than anywhere else?
The difference between New York subway and subways in most other places around the world is that other subway systems were built to connect neighborhoods and business districts that already existed. In New York, our subway system was built to expand population outward from the population that was concentrated in lower Manhattan to the outer boroughs. And so the subway basically created neighborhoods and made New York the city that it is today.
Also on display at the New York Transit Museum are vast collections of vintage photographs of trains and artifacts from different time periods. While there, you'll see trolley cars that used to line the city streets, old maps through New York transit history, and elevated trains that used to run in the 5 boroughs, many of which survive today and many that no longer exist. You can sit in the driver's seat of an old cutaway New York City bus and get a feel for what it's like behind the wheel. You can check out the collection of subway and bus tokens throughout the years, as well as have a look at numerous slugs that were illegally used by some passengers trying to avoid paying the fare. Each subway car is also adorned with historical advertisements that beautifully reflect the era of the vintage car itself. You could even see photos of the decommissioned City Hall station. It's called the jewel in the crown of New York subway stations, with its one-of-a-kind, ornate, opulent design. But some lucky museum members get to take a subway ride there and visit it at special times during the year. What is the mission of the New York Transit Museum?
The mission of the New York Transit Museum basically is to talk about how important public transportation has been to the growth and thriving of New York City and its people. There's no story that you can tell about New York that doesn't involve transit in some way. When you come to the New York Transit Museum, what you're going to see is an overall picture of New York City's public transportation system from its beginnings in the 1830s up until yesterday. So there's a little something for everybody here, whether you like buses, whether you like trains, whether you just want to know about engineering things, we've got it all here.
The New York Transit Museum is located in downtown Brooklyn. They're open on Wednesdays through Sundays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, visit their website at nytransitmuseum.org. For Arts in the City, I'm Neil Rosen.